Hello, beautiful people. I will ignore this shade on me from the window and record this video anyways because I feel like it, and the sun is shining on my face and I feel good about myself and I want to talk. What do I want to talk about? I want to talk about how I got to the other side of fear. From here to here, there is a big gap which stops us from our true potential, from living the life that we want, from acting and expressing ourselves the way that we want. And it always feels like there's so much to learn, there's so much to work through. We need maybe therapy, I never went to therapy. I'm not against it. I might go. I keep thinking about it time to time, and I think everyone can benefit from it. However, there is so much you can do with yourself if you're willing to, if you're willing to read, if you're willing to really understand yourself, every single thing that is in your mind, in your thoughts constantly, every single trigger. If you are willing to write things down, if you are willing to put yourself out there, be very uncomfortable. I have so many exercises that I can share. I have so much knowledge about this topic just because I lived it. And I am not a psychologist, but by now I feel like I understand so well some things that maybe I should become one. I actually want to study psychology. Anyways, it's not the point. What I wanted to talk about is self-esteem. How to improve your self-esteem. How to change the way you view yourself. How to train this thing in your head to stop bothering you, to stop being so cruel to you, and to actually be your friend and to work with you. Just imagine all of the things that are holding you back, all of the fears that you have, all of the doubts about yourself that you have. If that would disappear, what kind of life would you like to lead? What would you do? What career path would you choose? What would you start? Where would you go? Who would you be? Who would you be with? Why are you not doing it? That's the question. The answer is, it seems impossible, or it seems like a really long road. It seems really fucking challenging, really hard. But I can tell you that it's very much doable. As someone who has been avoidant for a very long time, self-isolation is like my second nature. I would miss so much of life just because I was insecure, just because I was scared. And those words are like thrown around again and again, insecurities, but it can actually be very grave. It can be very destructive. And sometimes I had one moment when I had many moments, but I remember one particular moment when I actually started taking real action, is when I sat at home alone, isolated again, and I just thought to myself, is this how my life will go? And that thought terrified the shit out of me, because this life felt so dark and meaningless. And what is the point then? If you cannot truly connect with people, if you cannot, I'm not talking about potential or self-expression or your dreams and goals and money and all of that is there. Like, if you cannot even, I had intense social anxiety and I quit so many jobs. All areas of my life were kind of really fucked up because of that. And not talking about the highs, just to function as a normal human being on a day-to-day basis, that seemed impossible. So what should I do? And I know I could have tried and go to therapy, but sometimes you are so anxious that you are like, that was part of my social anxiety, to actually talk to people. So you have to talk to a therapist as well, and they will see you, and it's like I couldn't fathom that as something possible. Anyways, long intro. Now I feel like a social butterfly, and even though I am an introvert and I do feel intimidated and anxious sometimes, but I know how to manage it, and it disappears, and I feel like a very different person, and I am very grateful to everything that I have done. Therefore, I want to share it. Okay, let's go. I wrote down a couple of the things that you can try today if you want to train your brain how to be a baddie and how to see yourself from a very, very positive view eventually. I'm gonna pause for now. The first thing, if you feel like you have this shame about you, this toxic shame, you feel insecure, you have so many insecurities, and you constantly feel like you need to improve and be better, to be around people or to be in social situations or achieve something, you have to remember that you need to have something to give, and you have to acknowledge it, because you definitely have something to give. You are definitely an interesting person. The lesson here is that you really have to learn how to own it. You have to own the things that make you who you are, the things that make you interesting, because nobody else has what you have, even though maybe these people do the same thing. Maybe you're an artist like me and you think, oh, I'm not as good enough. You have something that other people don't, and you have to be an interesting person. You kind of have to forget about the external for a minute and focus on yourself and really do what you want to do. Write yourself a list of things that you think would make you a cool person. Pick some of those things and actively start doing them. You will start to feel much more confident in social situations, because you know that you are that cool person. You said that you're gonna do these things, and you are doing these things, and you straight away automatically feel like you have something to share. And whenever your self-esteem goes down, you have those anchors. You have to create for yourself anchors where you can come back and kind of self-talk to yourself that, well, yeah, I feel this and that negative, but at least I have this, so I am cool, I am worthy because I am doing that thing. I don't know, maybe you want to start learning a language, and you will be constantly coming back to the thought that, well, at least I can speak 5 languages now. I've learned this and this, and these people don't, you know? It's not from a patronizing perspective, but from the perspective of hyping yourself up, and that really helps. It shouldn't be something about you that was naturally given. Like, if you're beautiful, yeah, great, but it has to be something that you actually earned. You actually put your, work, and I cannot speak, but you got my point. It has to be something that you're proud of, and that automatically elevates your self-esteem and how you carry yourself around people. So constantly invest in the things that make you better. Right, next. When you are expressing an opinion, whether it be at work or social situation, your family, anyone, when you're meeting new people, whatever you say, you really have to say like you mean it, like you own it. There are so many people that have such interesting thoughts, and they are straight away looked down upon, or misheard, misunderstood, just because of the way they present their thoughts. If you want to be, I don't want to say taken seriously, but yes, if you want to be taken seriously, if you want to be seen as worthy. And you know, I'm saying these things, it's kind of, you're doing it for yourself, not for other people. But at the same time, unfortunately, this is how our society works, and there are many clues, cues, social cues, how you can manipulate how people view yourself, and you have to learn about these cues and use it to your advantage. And one of those cues is how you speak, how you communicate with people. Whatever you have to say, don't speak in a way that you are as if unsure what you're saying. I know you might be unsure actually, but you shouldn't say it. If what you said was actually wrong, you can say, oh, I didn't know, next time I will know, or that's interesting, I learned something new. But you have to present your thoughts in a way that you actually know shit, know ball, that you mean what you say. Because people don't like unsure, insecure people. And you know, it's a little bit of fake it till you make it, but you should really care about how you deliver your thoughts. Next, you have to do scary things often because it's a muscle and you train yourself. But here's the thing, some of the things might seem very unattainable for you. So what I suggest you do, which really has helped me, create a gamified strategy list. Put things that you want to do or your ideal version would do when you will get to where you want to be. You know, what are the activities and things and practices she would do, and assign them levels and start from the bottom. Because obviously, you know, maybe you try something really scary and then you fail, and you blame yourself, and you can avoid that by actually starting smaller. Because every time you do something scary, now maybe you cannot comprehend it, maybe you cannot, like, you logically understand it, but it doesn't seem real to your brain. But what actually happens is whenever you do something different, scary, slightly scary, you unlock something in your brain, you rewire it, you retrain it, you feed it new experience that changes and rewires it, and you unlock other, like, it changes the way you see the world. So with every new level, you cannot understand it yet because you don't have the access to that level, but once you get to that level, it becomes easier to get to the next, and you will only feel it when you get to that higher level, even if the thing is very unattainable. Like in the past, I would be so scared to go to a date. Like I wouldn't date, I would never have anything romantic. I remember I was, like, a couple first dates that I went to, I was really forcing myself. I was really looking at it as something like a task, like I really need to. And again, this is where gamifying thing comes to. I went on so many dates by now, it feels like brushing my teeth. It feels so easy, because here's the thing, whenever you do something, and I'm getting off track here, but I would go first on dates with people that I wouldn't be too attracted to, you know? That's a bit, you can say that I was using the people, you can say that it's a bit of a cheating, but it's actually strategy. It's very psychological, and I suggest you do too. You have to pick something that slightly scares you, you know, or scares you but not absolutely mortifies you, because you will get to that next level after you are done with these. This is how you habituate to the scary things, and over time they will not feel scary at all, but your brain right now cannot understand it. The more difficult things you do, the better self-image you have about yourself, because you did the hard thing, right? I lost track what I was saying. Yes, gamify things. Another thing which kind of stems from that, you have to set your mind, when you're doing the hard things, you have to set your mind to fail. And I'll explain. Maybe some people will tell you that you shouldn't even consider failing, you will succeed, but the thing is, some people, because they want to succeed so hard, they're scared to even try. That's why you have to get out, push yourself out there to do the hard thing, to do the scary thing, just for the sake of experience. Because, again, you're training your mind to understand that, oh, I can do that actually. Even if you do it badly, even if you do it wrong, even if you feel awkward, even if it feels like, I don't know, very embarrassing, and you want to just disappear from the situation, you have to pat yourself on the back and you have to celebrate it because you actually did that. Any action is better than no action, and you have to set your mind to do it badly. There's this quote I saw somewhere on social media ages ago, couple years ago, when I was going through that whole up-leveling thing and working with myself through things. The quote said, "Be brave enough to be terrible." And it really stuck with me, and I put it on my wall, I wrote it down, and I kept getting back to it whenever I would feel really anxious about something upcoming, about something where I was taking a leap, where I was starting something, or I don't know, doing something new. You have to be brave enough to be terrible, because ultimately the point is of this existence, of all this, of being alive, is to learn. It's to be perfect straight away, to succeed, is not the point. If that will be your ultimate goal, if that will be your point, you will keep avoiding things. You will keep planning, thinking that you should get better, you should, I don't know, there should be a better time, you should learn as much as you can. Yes, please, learn as much as you can, do your research, learn the theory, learn from other people, but together with that, you have to be trying and failing, because that's how you will train your brain to feel safer in that unknown. And that's where your confidence will grow also. So yes, another thing, being seen trying is actually very attractive, because guess what? So many people like me, like you, like us, we are fucking scared of being seen dumb, fail. But the thing is, when we see these people that are trying and not succeeding, maybe some of the stinky, crusty, dusty assholes actually judge them, but I swear it's not many. Most of the people actually think, oh, I wish I could be that brave to also try. It's actually attractive. It makes you feel like, you might feel kind of shitty, if you're being seen as dumb, but you are doing service to so many people around you that it's like you're giving them permission to also try. And there's this rapport already created. People see you as someone brave, someone better. That's how I see other people who are trying, and I'm sure you too. So, just food for thought. Next, it's important to track your thought process before you're doing something scary. This whole thing about self-esteem, I feel like I'm talking about fears and things that are scary to try, but I think it really ties together, because you cannot grow your self-esteem by up-leveling your wardrobe, getting good skincare, starting to eat healthy, exercising, because most of the people will tell you that, and to me it's like it's given, like duh, yeah, you will feel better if you do all of those things. But the thing is, there is something much deeper in self-esteem, don't you think? In the way you carry yourself, in the way you feel about yourself. It's not just about how you look and how you how your body looks. Like, yeah, it's sport and eating healthy obviously make you feel better. It actually helps you with mental health a lot, so it's a very huge topic. It literally influences how you feel about yourself too, what you eat. But I'm talking about confidence that is found in competence, you know what I mean? Yes, back to things to be written down. Whenever you're about to start something, whenever you're about to enter into a situation that you feel like an imposter or scares you or you feel anxious, there is a great exercise that I did. You have to, all of those situations, instead of avoiding them, put yourself through it, but write down what comes up beforehand. Write down the column before, and the second column should be not after, but during. Because you will be coming back to it and you will train your brain to realize that actually it's not that bad. So in the column before, you write what emotions you feel, and you write what thoughts coming up. So maybe if you're going to do a presentation, let's say, everything that comes up for you is that nobody will be interested in listening to you, you don't know how to speak in public, you will be red, you will start to stutter, you will suck, literally. And then all your emotions. Then you come back home, actually, you really did it, and write down what you felt during. When you were actually in it, in the scary thing, when you were doing the presentation, when you were talking to the audience, and what did you feel? What did you observe? Did people actually listen to you? They probably did. Were you red? You probably were, but did something happen? Did you die? No. Huh, interesting. So I can be red, but I can keep going? Interesting. I've written so many situations that made me feel very uncomfortable, and those situations were like going to a gathering with friends. So yeah, I was that bad. And it really, really, really helped me to understand for the future event, for the future scary thing, when I was reading that, it's probably going to be the same. And the anticipation anxiety really went slowly, lower and lower. Everything that you track, it kind of gives you also this proof of how you've improved, and that reinforces your motivation to keep going, and it inspires you. It's like, oh my god, look, I can do that now. Confidence grows, you see yourself better. There are so many things, but this video is going to be very long, so I think I'm gonna stop now. But I'm gonna mention one last thing. I think it's very important that you accept your insecurities and you accept the things that you're not satisfied with just yet, and even say it out loud. And maybe you will disagree with that. It depends on the situation. But for example, often you don't want to show it. You don't want to show to people that you are insecure about something, and therefore there is this wall. And you are so scared to be seen insecure that you will be kind of distancing yourself from people, maybe, or just it's an ego thing. But once you actually accept it, it makes you feel like you are comfortable with it to the external, and you actually are seen as more confident. Because what confidence is actually at its core, it's not someone who is arrogant and patronizing and keeps their head high and speaks very firmly, Confidence is literally being comfortable in your skin, whoever you are and however you are, and being content with that and being comfortable. So you have to find ways to be comfortable with yourself, and accepting and saying things out loud often helps with that. I remember when I was on the interview and I was talking with the guy, the manager, and I felt my face getting really hot and probably red, because I knew it's coming. And I straight away started to forget all the answers that I practiced, everything that I wanted to say. And I just told him out loud, because that could have blocked me, or you can try and release it, and you will help the situation by that sometimes. I said something like, oh, by the way, I feel like I'm getting red, just ignore it. I feel nervous sometimes. And I laughed it off, and he said that he always gets red as well in situations like that, and that just created the connection and released the tension and kind of unblocked my block channel. And I feel like this is just a small example, but there are so many others where just being honest in the moment actually shows that you are in control and you own the situation, and you just feel better about yourself, like you weren't trying to lie or somehow, even though fake it till you make it sometimes very good, very helpful, but sometimes, see, it's an art. It depends on the situation, but ultimately it's about being brave and courageous, always. All right, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna go to drink my tea, and I'll see you next time. You're amazing, hot, sexy.